Sagittarius. A secret is hidden in your home. Discover why someone admires you so much. Sagittarius, pause for just a moment. You've been moving so fast lately, searching, questioning, expanding. But there's something happening right now, right where you are. Something quietly unfolding, not in a distant place, but inside the space you call home. And it's no accident you're here reading this. There is a presence around you. Not loud, not obvious, but present. Watching, admiring, holding a truth about you that even you haven't fully seen yet. A truth that lives not in your goals, not in your next big leap, but in the details of your daily life. The way you carry your fire when no one is watching. The way you inspire without trying. The way your energy shifts the space around you without permission. Someone sees that deeply, and the universe is aligning this very moment to bring that hidden recognition to the surface. Not as a performance, but as a quiet unveiling. You are not just admired, Sagittarius. You are being witnessed. This is a message about seeing yourself through new eyes. And if you feel that subtle shift, that mysterious pull to look closer at your own space and energy, then this message is for you. If it resonates, like, share or subscribe, not as routine, but as an act of saying yes to the insight that's already forming in your orbit. Something is about to be revealed, and it begins right where you are. Gate 1: The hidden energy at home. How Sagittarius is being admired without realizing it. For Sagittarius, the idea of staying still rarely feels natural. Your soul is built for motion, for truth-seeking, for journeying, for chasing wisdom across landscapes and lifetimes. But sometimes the most profound discoveries don't happen out there in the world. Sometimes they find you exactly where you are, quietly, without warning, inside your own space. Lately you may have felt it. A strange hum in the background of your life. That sensation of being observed, even when no one else is around. That almost eerie feeling that something or someone is paying closer attention to you than you thought possible. And not in a fearful way, but in a way that feels meaningful, intimate. Like your truth is being seen in ways you haven't allowed even yourself to notice. This isn't paranoia. It's not imagination. It's energy. And it's real. Right now there is a unique field forming around Sagittarius. A subtle energetic alignment that reveals your essence to someone in your orbit. Not your public self. Not your projected fire. But your real energy, the soul layer beneath the adventure, the wanderlust, the wild freedom. This person isn't watching you with envy or expectation. Their gaze is something else entirely. It's admiration. Silent, pure, deep. They see something in you you've possibly overlooked. The quiet wisdom behind your laughter. The vulnerability you rarely share. The way your curiosity is a form of devotion to life itself. This admiration isn't about ego. It's not performance-based. It's soul recognition. The kind of connection that doesn't demand words to feel real. And the most surprising part? The key to discovering this person, this silent witness to your light, is hidden right in your home. Not necessarily a physical object. Not necessarily a face you pass daily. But something in your environment has been holding this energy. A corner of your space that feels charged. An object you keep overlooking. A message you read and dismissed. Or even a recurring thought or dream tied to someone you haven't fully considered. Sagittarius, you live most of your life outside the frame. But now the universe is pulling you inward. Not to trap you, but to reveal something sacred you've missed in the rush. During this cycle, pay close attention to the subtle signs. That coworker whose comments seem too insightful to be random. That neighbor who lights up every time they see you. That friend whose messages lately have a new depth. These aren't coincidences. They're cosmic breadcrumbs. You may be tempted to brush this off, to keep moving, to assume it's nothing. But what if it's everything? What if someone has been holding space for your truth all along, waiting for the right moment, this moment, to let it surface? Astrologically, the energies forming now around Sagittarius are rare. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is amplifying your auric field in a way that attracts not just attention but recognition. Recognition from those who see beyond your charm and into your depth. The kind of gaze that doesn't just admire what you do, but who you are. And the invitation here is simple. Stay still long enough to notice. Notice what feels different in your home. Notice who makes you feel more seen with fewer words. Notice what part of you softens when you let admiration in. Not the performative kind, but the sacred, quiet kind. Because someone sees your fire. And not just the flame, but the fuel behind it. And soon this secret admiration will reveal itself. Not to flatter you, but to show you what's real, what's sacred, and what's ready to rise in your story next. Gate 2. The power of being seen. When Sagittarius realizes their impact runs deeper than they knew. You've never needed the spotlight to feel alive, Sagittarius. What you crave isn't applause, it's authenticity. You don't seek admiration to boost your ego. You seek truth to nourish your soul. Still deep down, there's a quieter desire you rarely admit. The longing to be understood, not just followed. To be seen, not just watched. And right now, that desire is being answered in a way you didn't expect. There's someone, maybe closer than you think, who sees you in ways you haven't yet seen yourself. Not the version of you who's always inspiring others with big visions or captivating conversations. No, they're watching the moments in between. The pause in your voice when you're uncertain. The way your eyes shift when you're guarding your hope. The subtle tenderness in your bravery. They notice your stillness, not just your movement. And in that stillness, they've come to admire you deeply. Sagittarius, you often underestimate your impact. You move so freely, so independently that you forget how deeply you imprint on others. You change rooms without trying. You leave marks on hearts while simply being curious, passionate, and real. You've always assumed people were drawn to your fire. But this person, they're drawn to your light, the kind that doesn't ask for attention, but simply exists. And here's the twist. While you've been scanning the horizon for your next step, they've been right there, quietly witnessing you becoming. This is what makes the moment so powerful. When someone sees us fully, sees the parts we didn't highlight, polish, or perform, it rewires us. Suddenly the mask loosens, the pressure lifts, and the truth we've been carrying alone feels a little lighter. That's what this secret admiration is doing for you. It's a mirror, and it's showing you a reflection you forgot to believe in. You may be asking, why haven't I noticed them before? And the answer is simple. You weren't meant to until now. This isn't just about romantic potential or emotional intimacy, though it could be. This is about spiritual confirmation. That the version of you feared might be too much or too complex is the exact version someone else sees as extraordinary. And here's the deeper layer. The admiration they feel is not passive. It's activating things, opportunities, collaborations, even abundance. The energy of being truly seen doesn't just heal. It opens doors. Sometimes we hold ourselves back unconsciously, waiting for external permission to go all in on our truth. But once someone else reflects it back to us, we begin to trust it more deeply ourselves. This moment is a turning point, a bridge. You're being invited not just to acknowledge the presence of this silent admirer, but to step into the energy of your own sacred visibility. To stop diluting your truth just because you weren't sure anyone noticed. To stop minimizing your light just because no one mirrored it back until now. Sagittarius, this is a cosmic echo. You've always mattered more than you thought. And this person, this energy, this revelation isn't just about being admired. It's about being reminded that your presence changes things. That your essence inspires without effort. That the way you live, not just the way you lead, is touching lives. So as this secret begins to unfold, don't be surprised if your sense of purpose shifts. If your confidence grows not from performance but from peace. And if, for the first time in a long time, you feel seen not just as a seeker, but as someone who's already arrived right here, in the heart of someone else's quiet reverence. Gate 3. Soul mirrors and sacred recognition. The spiritual connection Sagittarius didn't see coming. Sagittarius, you've always looked far to find meaning. You've wandered deserts of doubt and climbed mountains of questions just to get a clearer view. But the most sacred truths don't always wait on the horizon. Sometimes they live in the silence of your home. In the gentle gaze of someone you've passed by 100 times. In a presence that doesn't shout but reflects. Right now, someone is acting as a mirror for your soul. Not in the romanticized way we often think of soulmates, but in the spiritual sense. They are holding up a light to the parts of you you've forgotten, buried, or brushed aside in your pursuit of growth. This person sees something in you that has nothing to do with titles, accomplishments, or ambition. They see the you who pauses before speaking. The you who protects your hope like a flame in the wind. The you who still believes despite everything. that there's something sacred guiding it all. And the truth is, you felt them before. In a room that suddenly felt calmer. In a passing comment that struck deeper than it should have. In the synchronicities that seemed to point back to them again and again. This is not infatuation. This is soul recognition. In ancient spiritual traditions, there was a belief that each of us would cross paths with someone whose sole purpose was to reflect our divinity back to us. Not to complete us, but to confirm us. To remind us that the essence we've carried all along was never invisible, just waiting to be truly seen. And that's what this silent admirer is doing. They may not confess it aloud. They may not even fully understand the depth of what they feel. But on an energetic level, they are anchoring a kind of love into your field. Not possessive, not demanding, but reverent. A love that says, I see you. Not for what you give me, but for who you are when no one's looking. This kind of love is rare. It isn't transactional. It's spiritual. And it often arrives at the exact moment we need to remember who we are beyond the roles we play. For Sagittarius, this is a sacred reset. You've been searching high and low for alignment, purpose, belonging. You've outgrown masks and old philosophies. You've burned bridges and rewritten your truth. But this is a moment of stillness where someone else's quiet recognition allows you to rest into your truth without having to prove it. The revelation may come through words, or through energy, through a dream, through an unguarded moment, through a gesture that says more than language ever could. When it does, you may be tempted to question it, to intellectualize it, to ask, why me? But the answer is simple: because your soul called it in. Because your truth was too beautiful to remain unseen. Because love, true soul-based sacred love, doesn't always begin with lightning. Sometimes it begins with recognition. And once seen, you can never unsee it. This connection, whether it evolves into something more or simply remains a brief but powerful soul encounter, will leave a permanent imprint. Not because of what you receive from it, but because of what it awakens in you. So let yourself be seen, Sagittarius. Let this sacred mirror reflect back what you've forgotten. That your presence is medicine, your light is needed, and your heart, wild, wise, and endlessly searching, is more understood than you ever dared to believe. Conclusion: you were seen all along. Sagittarius, your life has always been a quest. For truth. For meaning. For a love that doesn't cage you but sees you wild, whole, and free. You've searched across oceans of experience and through skies of uncertainty, hoping that somewhere, someone might understand the fire you carry. And now, as this secret presence begins to reveal itself, this silent admirer who sees your essence without needing explanation, you're being offered something rare. Proof that your light has been working all along. Even in the quiet, even when you doubted, even when you felt invisible in your own story. This isn't about ego. It's about reflection. It's about knowing that your way of being, unfiltered, passionate, untamed, isn't too much. It's exactly what called in the person, the opportunity, or the spiritual mirror that now stands in quiet awe of you. Let this moment land. Let it remind you that recognition doesn't always come with fanfare. Sometimes it arrives as a knowing glance, a gentle word, a presence in your space that makes you feel seen in a way applause never could. And if this message reached you at just the right time, if it opened something, softened something, confirmed something, then let it be a sign. You are already magnetic. You are already enough. If it touched you if it brought clarity, share. And if you want to keep walking this path of soul-level awareness, subscribe. Because in this space, we don't chase light. We become it.